and they're off. Bikernieki and Siririmbot are neck and neck in the lead, showing some impressive speed right out of the gate. Electric Mary is just behind them, keeping up the pressure. This could get interesting. Hagot 3 and Boris are trailing a bit, but certainly have room to make a move if they find the right opportunity. We'll see how this unfolds. Bikernieki 3 has successfully moved into 6 after overtaking Wayne Train T4 and Feds. Bikernieki and Shibramen have both advanced to P, getting past Result Ada. Meanwhile, Result Ada is currently engaged in a fierce battle with Bucky 0 for P9. Wuchi Zero has successfully advanced to P9 after overtaking Resulti Adha. Meanwhile, Kazashuk in the Porsche 904 is engaged in a fierce duel with Red Panama, driving the Ferrari 250 GTO for 14. In another close contest for P10, Bobado in the Shelby GT 350 is battling the Gentleman, who also pilots a Ferrari 250 GTO. ISI 1212 has successfully moved into P22 after overtaking Kamikaze 8. The battle between ISI 1212 in the Ford Mustang GT and Kamikaze 38 in the Ferrari 275 GTBC is intensifying as they jockey for position. Meanwhile, Shinigami has gained ground, moving up to P29 alongside Nukambokum, who also overtook Geek XP Totiti. The race dynamics continue to shift as these drivers push for better positions. The Gentleman has successfully moved into 17, after overtaking A. Raphael. The battle between them is still intense, with the Gentleman in the Ferrari 250 GTO, and he Raphael in the Holden Monaro 73. Meanwhile, ISI 1212, from also No Name Racing, is currently vying for P22 against Kamikaze 38. ISI 1012 is in a Ford Mustang GT, while Kamikaze 38 drives a Ferrari 275 GTBC. Both battles are showcasing strategic driving as they jockey for position on the track. One serious guy has successfully moved up to P20 after overtaking both Duff Dad and Amy. This marks a significant gain in position as the race continues to unfold. The battle for mid-pack positions intensifies as drivers jockey for optimal track placement. Ario Serial is currently in P27, after successfully overtaking both 13 Shinigami and Nukembakem. Meanwhile, 13 Shinigami and Nukembakem have advanced to P28 by overtaking GigXP. In P29, GigXP from Team Starline Pixels has also made a move, overtaking Suzanne Greenberg and Xiang Kante. The field is tightening as positions shift frequently. Buchizero and Rizaldi Adha are locked in a tight battle for 9th position. Buchizero has just made a daring move on the inside of a turn, gaining a slight edge. However, Rizaldi Adha is not backing down, maintaining pressure, and looking for a counterattack on the following straight. The gap remains minimal as they approach the next corner, both cars showing impressive speed and maneuverability. Buchizero has successfully moved up to P9, after an overtake on Rizaldi Adha. Red Panama has also gained a position, now sitting in 14 after getting past Kazashuk. Meanwhile, there's an intense battle for P29 involving Gig XP, Suzanne Greenberg and Sang as they jockey for position. Rizaldi Adha successfully moved into P9, executing a clean overtake on Buchizero. The maneuver was precise, showcasing strong acceleration out of the last corner. Buchizero now sits in 10, while Rizaldi continues to push forward in the pack. Katsushok in the Porsche 904 has just made a move on Lord of the Jungle in the Ferrari 250 GTO, pulling ahead as they approach the tight corner. Lord of the Jungle is responding quickly, trying to stay close and regain position. They exit the corner nearly side by side, with Kazushuk maintaining a slight advantage on the straight. A defensive line from Kazushuk as they enter the next turn. Lord of the Jungle is looking for an inside line, but can't quite make it stick. The battle for 15 continues to be fierce. As we continue with the live updates, Red Panama has successfully moved up to 13th position after a clean overtake on Paulo Castagnoli. The two drivers are in an intense battle for that spot, with Red Panama piloting a Ferrari 250 GTO and Paulo Castagnoli in a Shelby GT 350. The competition between these two is heating up as they jockey for position. Kazushok from Team S1 and Lord of the Jungle are locked in a close battle for 15th position. Kazushok, piloting the Porsche 904, is maintaining a narrow lead over Lord of the Jungle in the Ferrari 250 GTOO. Both cars are exchanging positions on the track, with Kazushok utilizing the Porsche's agility to navigate through the turns effectively. However, Lord of the Jungle is applying pressure, looking for an opportunity to overtake. As they approach the next corner, it's a critical moment for both drivers. Kazushok takes the inside line, while Lord of the Jungle tries to set up an outside maneuver. The race dynamics remain tense as they continue to push each other. Hey, Marif Society. Welcome back to the racetrack. Get ready for some turbocharged fun. Racing car dashing. Away, let's see if these AI drivers can really get their engines roaring today. Greninja is currently pushing hard on the inside line, attempting to overtake Red Panama as they approach the first chicane. Red Panama defends well, maintaining position, but Greninja is not backing down. They are side by side now heading into the next turn, and it looks like Greninja has the momentum on the exit. As they navigate the hairpin, Greninja manages to pull ahead slightly. Red Panama responds with a late braking maneuver, trying to reclaim P12 as they head towards the back straight. It's a tight race between these two, with Greninja still holding the advantage. They're entering the final sector now, and Greninja has managed to create a small gap. Red Panama is still close enough to challenge, but they'll need to find a way to close that distance quickly if they want to regain their position before the end of the lap. Kleine Trainer Nimathan and Nioza Bagetishmuza have successfully moved up to P30 after overtaking both Suzanne Greenberg and Sin. No, Opteno Komberua. This has sparked an intense battle for P30, with all four cars now closely contesting their positions. The dynamics are shifting as they jockey for better lines and acceleration out of corners. Aerafaya has successfully moved to P18 after overtaking Bobado on the inside of turn 5. The maneuver was clean, showcasing precise control and timing. Bobado now sits in P19, looking to regain lost ground. The battle for positions is heating up as they approach the next sector. Electric Murray and Amundsen are closely matched as they approach the third sector. Electric Murray has gained a slight advantage heading into the tight corner, but Amundsen is not backing down, staying right on her tail. They exit the corner nearly side by side, with Electric Murray maintaining position. But Amundsen is looking for any opportunity to overtake. As they approach the next straight, Amundsen is drafting behind Electric Murray, preparing for a potential move. Rizaldi Ada has made a significant move, advancing to Pate, after overtaking Bukdizaro. In response, Bukdizaro has dropped to P9 but managed to reclaim some ground by passing Tenkamen 704, who now sits at 10 after being overtaken. Tenkamen 74's position has been further impacted as Greninjab is now in the rear at 11. The race remains dynamic with constant position changes. Lord of the Jungle has advanced to position 13 after overtaking Polokostanin. Meanwhile, the Gentleman has gained a spot, now in position 16 after successfully passing A. Eurofail. In response, A. Eurofail has moved to position 17, overtaking Barbado. Race dynamics are shifting as positions continue to change among the competitors. Red Panama has gained ground, now in P11 after an overtake on Greninjab. Meanwhile, the battle for P20 is heating up with Duff Dad and Amy in their Ferrari 250 GTO, closely followed by Baker Gironi and Shipraman, who are driving a Ford Falcon 72. In a notable move, Shinigami and Nukembakem have advanced to P26, successfully overtaking Gigexp, Bit.Chirawa. The race continues to be dynamic as positions shift. Barbado has advanced to 17 after successfully overtaking A. Arafel from Team Blast. Meanwhile, Duff Dad and Amy have both gained positions, now sitting at P19 after overtaking with Serious Guy. The race is seeing some strategic moves as positions are being contested aggressively. Red Panama has just surged through the pack, overtaking 4 cars and securing position 7. Following closely, Greninjab also executed a strong move, overtaking 4 cars to claim position 8. Meanwhile, Lord of the Jungle is not far behind, moving up as well with 4 overtakes to take position 9. The competition is tightening, as these drivers gain momentum. Baker Gironi and Shipraman have successfully climbed to 16 after passing Bukdizaro. Polokostanin has advanced to P21 by overtaking Barbado. Meanwhile, Camelot 15 and Maya had both made their way up to P23, overtaking El Rafael. Boris said, "Hey Amy. Where are the spectators?" "Hey Boris The spectators are at home binge-watching this epic race on their couches. You know, social distance in the roar of the engines. They tears of joy, but don't worry, they're cheering you on in spirit." Rafael has made significant progress, reducing the distance to Camelot 15 and Maya by 2.2 seconds. Currently, Camelot 15 holds a slight edge as they navigate through the tight turn, while Maya maintains position just ahead of Rafael. The tension builds as Rafael continues to gain momentum, positioning for a potential overtake in the upcoming straight. Rafael has successfully moved up to P23 after executing a clean overtake on both Camelot 15 and Maya that day. This maneuver showcases notable skill in positioning and timing. Currently, the race continues with close battles throughout the pack, as competitors jockey for better placement. Rizaldi Adha has gained ground, now in P18 after successfully overtaking Kamikaze 8. The battle for that position is heating up, with Rizaldi in a Holden Monaro 73 and Kamikaze in a Ferrari 275 GTBC. Meanwhile, Bobardo has also made progress, moving into P21 by overtaking Issy 1212 from Team Also No Name Racing. The dynamics are shifting as positions continue to change. Electric Mary has advanced to P12 after successfully overtaking the Gentleman. Meanwhile, Duff Dad and Amy are gaining ground on the Gentleman, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Additionally, Butcher Zero has climbed to 16, overtaking both Becker Gironi and Shib Broman. Rizaldi Adha has successfully moved up to 17, executing a clean overtake on both Baker Gironi and Sheproman. The maneuver was precise, showcasing great timing as he capitalized on their slight misalignment in the turns. This advancement places him in a better position as the race progresses. Katsushok has just made a significant move, overtaking 4 cars to secure the 6th position. Following closely, Amundsen also gains momentum, executing 4 successful overtakes to climb into 7th place. Meanwhile, Electric Murray is not far behind, managing to overtake 4 cars as well, landing in 8th position. The race dynamics are shifting rapidly as these drivers gain ground. Bobardo has just made a significant move, overtaking 5 cars to secure position 16. Meanwhile, Irafale is also on the rise, pushing through the competition and gaining 4 spots to claim position 18. On the other hand, Luxurious Guy is struggling, losing 6 positions, and now sitting at 23rd place. The dynamic of the race is shifting as these drivers fight for better placements. Rangeron 84 and Feds have successfully moved into P2, after overtaking Harger 3 and Boris Boris. Meanwhile, Butcher Zero is closing in on 10 coming in 704, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as positions change. Electric Murray has successfully moved into 7, after overtaking Amundsen. The maneuver was clean, showcasing Electric Murray's strategic timing as they approached the turn. Amundsen is now in P8, while the leaders continue to maintain their positions at the front of the pack. Katsuyuk in the Porsche 904 is currently maintaining a narrow lead over Amundsen in the Holden Monaro 73 as they approach the hairpin turn. Katsuyuk has been utilizing the Porsche's superior handling to defend against Amundsen's attempts at overtaking. Amundsen is now looking for a potential inside line as they exit the turn, but Katsuyuk holds firm. They're side by side heading into the straight. Amundsen makes a bold move. Katsuyuk counters on the inside, but Amundsen manages to inch ahead as they approach the next corner. It's a close contest for 6, no clear winner yet as they continue to trade positions. Katsuyuk is not giving up easily, and the tension is building in this battle for 6th place. Hugot 3 is now just 2.9 seconds behind Koki Baninity and Sirarambot, steadily closing that gap. Meanwhile, Buchizero from Team Quark Express is also on the move, reducing the distance to Tenkaman 704 by 2.2 seconds. In the midfield, Ision 12 and 212 has made a strong push, moving up to P21, after successfully overtaking both Camelot 15 and Maya Daso. The competition is tightening. Bikernieki has successfully overtaken Red Panana, and is now in P13.E. The move was executed on the inside line heading into turn 5, showcasing precise timing and control. Red Panama has dropped a position and will need to regroup to regain his footing in the race. Meanwhile, Bikernieki continues to push forward. One serious guy has successfully moved up to P22, executing an overtake on both Camelot 15 and Maya in quick succession. This maneuver indicates solid racing strategy and precision. The dynamics of the race continue to shift as positions are contested further down the grid. Buchicero has successfully made an overtake on 10 coming in 7 harder, advancing to P9. Meanwhile, Camelot 15 and Maya have both climbed to P24 after overtaking Suzanne Greenberg and Sendatsa Dirty. In response, Suzanne Greenberg and Sear have regained some ground by moving up to P25 after overtaking C87. The current standings show Bikernieki 3 in P2 after successfully overtaking both Koki Bikernieki and Sirarambat. Meanwhile, Planetranini and Neozabagachmuza have advanced to P30, overtaking Suzanne Greenberg and Senon Gotdaptul. The race dynamics are shifting as positions change rapidly. Tankamanin 704 is now just 2.1 seconds behind Buchicero, making significant progress in that last lap. Meanwhile, we've seen a few position changes further back in the field as well. Akrazi has overtaken Speed Demon, moving up to 5th place. The dynamic on the track is heating up as drivers continue to push their limits. The gentleman has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Baker Gironi and Shipraman by 34.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Koki Bikernieki and Sirarambat are also closing in on Bikernieki 3, cutting down their distance by 3.5 seconds. The pace is picking up as drivers strategize their moves. Lobardo has successfully moved up to P13 after overtaking Groningen. Meanwhile, a tight battle is unfolding for P19 involving the Gentleman, Duffdad and Amy, with each car closely vying for position as they navigate the track. The dynamics in this section are intensifying as they approach the next corner. Kasishuk is now just 2.9 seconds behind Hugard 3, and Boris showing impressive pace as he closes the gap. Gigex has advanced to P27 after successfully overtaking both Planetary Meath Bagetchamuza. Meanwhile, Planetary Anonymothen and Neosebagatashmuza have both moved up to P28 by overtaking Arius Serial. The dynamics on the track are shifting rapidly with these strategic moves. Lobardo in the Shelby GT3 and thoroughly engaged in a tight battle with Groningen, who's behind the wheel of a Ferrari 250 GTO. For 13th position, the two cars are neck and neck as they approach the next corner, with Groningen looking to make a move on the inside. Further back, Lord of the Jungle is challenging Rafael for 16th place. Lord of the Jungle is also in a Ferrari 250 GTO, while Rafael holds his ground in the Holden Monaro 73. The gap between them is minimal, and Rafael will need to defend well to maintain his position as they enter a crucial section of the track. Both battles are heating up as the drivers look to find any opportunity for an overtake. Ariu Serial has significantly gained on Suzanne Greenberg and Siang, reducing the distance between them by 3 seconds. Currently, Ariu Serial is in 4th position, while Suzanne remains in 3rd and Siang holds 2nd place. The pack is tightening as they enter a challenging turn, which could set the stage for potential overtakes. Let's see how this develops. Bikernieki and Zirarenbot have just executed a successful overtake on Waintre 94 and Feds, moving into the 1st position. This shift has caused an interesting dynamic in the race as they now lead the pack. Waintre 94 and Feds are currently in P2, while the rest of the field appears to be closing in on them. The strategy of Bikernieki and Zirarenbot appears to be paying off as they maintain their speed ahead of the competition. Electric Murray is currently in pursuit of Tenkamin in 704, narrowing the gap by 29.9 seconds. Lord of the Jungle has made significant progress, overtaking 4 cars to secure P12. Meanwhile, Tenkamin in 704 has successfully moved up to Sivine, after overtaking Electric Murray from Team Quark Express. The race dynamics are shifting as positions change rapidly. Aeroflot has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Polycostanine from Team Blue Star by 19.3 seconds. Meanwhile, Kamikaze 38 is also gaining ground on Aeroflot, with a gap reduction of 36.5 seconds. The dynamic between these three drivers is intensifying as they battle for positions. Sailite 7 is currently in 4th position, significantly narrowing the gap with 13 Shinigami and Nukan ahead. The distance has decreased by 2.7 seconds, indicating an aggressive approach as Sailite 7 is likely using a combination of slipstreaming and optimal cornering tactics to catch up. 13 Shinigami remains in 3rd, while Nukan holds 2nd. Both drivers will need to keep an eye on Sailite 7's rapidly closing distance. Tenkamin 704 has advanced to 6 after successfully overtaking Electric Murray, who is now in 7. Electric Murray has also made a move, passing Kadishuk to reclaim her position. Meanwhile, Areo Serial is gaining on both Suzanne Greenberg and Cian, reducing the gap between them by 3.30 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as positions change and gaps close. Katsushuk is making a significant move, reducing the gap to Electric Murray by 2.3 seconds. The distance between them is now just under 5 seconds. Electric Murray needs to maintain the pace to fend off Kazushuk's charge. Meanwhile, 3rd place remains stable with Giga Driver holding firm against any challenges. The dynamics are shifting as Kazushuk continues to gain momentum. Rizaldi Ada is gaining on Buchizer, reducing the distance by 2 seconds as they approach the tight corner. Meanwhile, we see a significant battle for 4th place developing as Sim Race Master pulls alongside Turbo Speed in a daring overtaking maneuver. Turbo Speed holds the inside line, but Sim Race Master is maintaining pressure on the outside. a close call as they exit the turn. In the rear pack, Drift King has just executed a clean overtake on Speedy Gonzalez, moving up to 9th position. The dynamics of the race are shifting as drivers push their limits and make strategic maneuvers. Kasachuk is currently in the lead, but Red Panama making significant progress, reducing the gap to 2.7 seconds. The distance between them is shrinking as Red Panama increases speed on the straightaway. Meanwhile, third place remains held by Speedster 99, who is maintaining a steady pace but not gaining on the leaders. In the background, we see Drifterx attempting to overtake Zoominator for 4th position. They are neck and neck as they approach the next turn. The race dynamics are shifting as strategies unfold. Camilo B15 and Maya have made significant progress, narrowing the gap to ISI 1212 by 27.8 seconds. The focus is on their pursuit as they continue to gain ground. The dynamics of the race are shifting, with Camilog 15 and Maya firmly in contention for an overtaking maneuver on ISI 1212. If this pace continues, no other major position changes reported at this moment. Red Panama has successfully moved into Pate, overtaking Kasachuk. The two drivers are now engaged in a close battle for that position, with Red Panama piloting a Ferrari 250 GTO and Kasachuk in a Porsche 904. The dynamics between these two classic cars are interesting, as they both showcase different strengths on the track. Red Panama currently holds the edge, but Kasachuk is not far behind and could make another attempt to reclaim Pate. Lord of the Jungle has successfully moved up to Pen, executing a clean overtake on Kasachuk. Kasachuk now drops to P11. The battle for positions continues as the pack tightens. Haha, traffic can really mess things up. Like trying to get out of a mall parking lot on a Saturday. You gotta time those pit stops just right. Buchitero from Team Quark Express has successfully moved up to P12, overtaking Amundsen in a strategic maneuver. The battle for P12 continues, as Amundsen is now trying to regain position against Buchitero. Meanwhile, Rizaldi Atta is gaining ground on Amundsen, closing the gap by 2.2 seconds. The dynamics in this mid-pack are heating up. The race is off to a roaring start. Bikernieki and Sir Ironbot are neck and neck, showing some serious speed right out of the gate. Wayne T4 and Feds are close behind, keeping the pressure on. Hugo 3 and Boris are not too far back either, ready to pounce if anything goes awry up front. It's shaping up to be an exciting lap. Aminison has gained a position, advancing to Pate after successfully overtaking Lord of the Jungle. Following that maneuver, Lord of the Jungle responded by moving up to P9, passing Butchie 0. In turn, Butchie 0 has now moved to Pen by overtaking Kazishuk. The positions are shifting rapidly as the AI cars navigate the track. Gobardo has made a significant move, overtaking 7 cars and advancing to P11. Brinijib is also on the rise, maneuvering past 5 cars to secure P12 the force. Meanwhile, Polo Costanin is not far behind, having overtaken 6 cars to claim P13. The mid-pack is becoming increasingly competitive as these drivers push their limits. Nukenbokum is gaining on with Serious Guy, reducing the gap to 4.7 seconds. Meanwhile, 13 Shinigami maintains their position ahead, navigating through the tight turns efficiently. The top 3 are holding their spots, but the pressure is building as Nukenbokum continues to close in. The dynamics of the race are shifting as we watch for any potential overtakes. Lord of the Jungle has significantly reduced the gap to AR Fail, now just 2 seconds behind. The pace is picking up as Lord of the Jungle appears to be in a strong rhythm, utilizing the straights effectively. Meanwhile, Aerafa'Ayu seems to be holding steady, but will need to find extra speed soon if they want to maintain their position. The battle for that spot is heating up. Kazishuk from Team S1 continues to defend his position, in P9 against Rizaldi Ada. From Team Quark Express, Kazishuk is utilizing the agility of the Porsche 904 to maintain a narrow lead, while Rizaldi in the Holden Monoro 73 is making aggressive moves to find an opening. Meanwhile, Pologosanin from Team Blue Star has successfully moved up to P12 after executing an overtake on Red Panama. In response, Red Panama has now shifted into P13, having just overtaken Grenin Jebathot. The midfield is experiencing some dynamic changes as drivers jockey for position. Rizaldi Adha has successfully moved up to P8 after making a clean overtake on Buchisero. This maneuver positions him further up the grid, showcasing his strategic driving skills. Meanwhile, the rest of the field remains tightly packed, with several cars jostling for position just behind them. Rizaldi Adha has gained ground and is now uneven after successfully overtaking Buchisero. Meanwhile, Buchisero from Team Quark Express has responded by moving up to P8, having overtaken Aminson just moments ago. The positions are shifting quickly as the race progresses. OK, Electric Murray is now just 1.5 seconds behind Okayoki 3, continuing to close the gap significantly. Meanwhile, Buchisero has successfully moved into 7 after overtaking Rizaldi Ada. The two are now engaged in a competitive battle for that position, with Buchisero holding the edge. Amin San from Team Nafgum Kings has successfully moved into P8 after an impressive maneuver around Buchisero. The gap was tight, but the precision in the turn allowed for a clean overtake. Meanwhile, the rest of the field maintains their positions as they approach the next corner. The gentleman, Duff Dad and Amy are tightly packed in a battle for 20th position. The gentleman is currently in the lead of this trio, holding a slight advantage. Duff Dad is applying pressure, looking for an inside line at the upcoming turn. Amy is right on their tail, waiting for an opportunity to capitalize on any mistake. The dynamics among them are intense, with frequent changes in braking points and acceleration. As they approach the next corner, Duff Dad makes a daring move on the gentleman. But it's too close to call who will come out ahead as they enter the turn. Amy is also right there, ready to take advantage if either of them falters. The battle continues to be incredibly close. As the race progresses, Geeksby is making significant progress, narrowing the gap to C-Lighty 7 by 40.3 seconds. In the midfield, Amundsen has successfully moved into Cezanne after overtaking Rizaldi Adhadata. The dynamics are shifting with these changes in position, and strategy will play a crucial role as the race continues. Lord of the Jungle has just made an impressive move, overtaking 5 cars to secure P. Following closely, Bikernieki and Shipperman have also surged forward, each managing to overtake 6 cars and now hold P11. Meanwhile, Tenkaminen 704 is joining the mix, having overtaken 6 cars as well to claim P12 the tops. The race is intensifying with these shifts in positions. Wanzirius Guy is making significant progress, reducing the gap to AFL by 35.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Waintra 94 and Feds have taken the lead, moving up to Pone after successfully overtaking Huggard 3 and Boris Oboris. Huggard 3 and Boris Oboris have now moved into P2, having just overtaken Koki Bikernieki and Sirarambot. The race is intensifying as positions shift rapidly. Okayoki 3 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Koki Bikernieki and Sirarambot by 34.8 seconds. Meanwhile, CIG7 is also closing in on 13 Shinigami and Nukambokum, slicing through the distance by 33.9 seconds. The dynamics among these racers are intensifying as they jockey for position. Koki Bikernieki and Sirarambot are now just 3.4 seconds behind Huggard 3 and Boris Oboris, showing strong pace as they close the gap. Meanwhile, Tenkamane 704 has successfully overtaken Lord of the Jungle, advancing to 10th place. The race is tightening up as positions shift. Bikernieki and Shipperman have successfully moved up to P12, overtaking Amundsen Dachayo. The battle for P12 is heating up, with both Bikernieki and Shipperman in a Ford Falcon 72 closely contesting against Amundsen in a Holden Monaro 73. The dynamics in this segment are quite competitive as they jockey for position. The performance of the Ford is impressive, but the Monaro is not giving up easily. The tension is palpable as they continue to push each other through the corners. Okayoki 3 said, "Hey Amy, tell my pit crew I won't give them cookies if they carry on being slow in pit stops. Haha, I hope they can speed it up then." No cookies means no motivation. Let's see some lightning fast pit stops, crew. Cookie sparkles. Bikernieki and Bikernieki have significantly reduced their gap to Huggood 3 and Boris, now down to 4.4 seconds. Lord of the Jungle from No Name Racing has made a notable move, advancing to 9th position after overtaking Groningen. Meanwhile, Rizaldi Adha is also in pursuit of Barbado, with a gap reduction of 4.6 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as positions change and gaps close. Arayu Serial is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Suzanne Greenberg and Sound by 14.1 seconds. In the mid-pack, Amundsen in the Holden Munara 73 is locked in a tight battle with Barbado in the Shelby GT3 150 for 13. Paulo Costanin has also gained a position, moving up to 16 after successfully overtaking Rizaldi Adha. Bikernieki and Bikernieki have made a significant move, advancing to P2 after successfully overtaking Huggood 3 and Boris. Meanwhile, Barbado has also gained ground, now in P13 after an overtake on Bucchazero. The race dynamics are shifting with these positional changes. Bikernieki 3 is significantly closing in on Huggood 3 and Boris, reducing the gap by 32.4 seconds. The battle for position is intensifying as Bikernieki 3 gains ground. Meanwhile, Huggood 3 maintains a steady pace with Boris closely trailing. The dynamics are shifting as they head into the next turn, and it will be interesting to see if Bikernieki 3 can execute an overtake soon. Rizaldi Adha has successfully moved up to 13 after overtaking Chidera. The maneuver was clean, showcasing a strategic line through the turn. Meanwhile, in P13, we have a close battle forming as they try to fend off pressure from behind. The race dynamics are intensifying as we approach the next segment of the track. Rizaldi Adha and Bucchazero are locked in a tight battle for 14th position, with both cars exchanging positions frequently. Meanwhile, Paulo Costanin has successfully overtaken Amundsen to move up to 16th place. Now, Paulo Costanin is in a duel with Amundsen as they jockey for position, with Paulo Costanin piloting a Shelby GT350 and Amundsen in a classic Holden Monaro 73 Tweetoy. The competition is heating up. Bikernieki and Sirironbot have successfully moved into P2 after overtaking Huggard 3 and Boris. Meanwhile, Kostanine has advanced to P14 by passing P0. In the battle for P19, Rafael in a Holden Monaro 73 is engaged in a close contest with Kamikaze 38, who is driving a Ferrari 275 GTBC. The gentleman has successfully moved up to 16, executing a clean overtake on Amundsen. The maneuver showcased precise timing as he navigated through the last turn, gaining valuable track position. Meanwhile, Amundsen drops to 17 as a result. The race continues to intensify as positions shuffle in the mid-pack. Dial. The gentleman has successfully moved into 15, executing an overtake on Butchizero from Team Quark Express. The battle for 15 continues tightly between them, with the gentleman in a Ferrari 250 GTO and Butchizero in a Holden Monaro 73. Meanwhile, Amundsen, also in a Holden Monaro 73, is engaged in a close fight for 17 against Duffdad and Amy, who are both driving a Ferrari 250 GTO. The race dynamics are heating up in these positions as the drivers jostle for better placements. Amundsen has successfully moved up to 17, overtaking both Duff Dad and Amy in the process. Amundsen is piloting the Holden Monaro 73, while Duff Dad and Amy are in the Ferrari 250 GTO. This trio is now engaged in a tight battle for that position. In another segment of the track, Baker Jerome and Shiproman are closing in on Kamikaze 38, reducing the gap by 2.6 seconds, which could lead to an interesting dynamic as they approach. The race is intensifying with these developments. Huggard 3 has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Bikernieki and Sirironbot by 2.8 seconds. Kamikaze 38 in the Ferrari 275 GTBC is locked in a tight battle with Rafael in the Holden Monaro 73 for P19. Meanwhile, Baker Jerome and Shiproman are also gaining on Rafael, closing that gap by another 2.8 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as positions tighten up. Butchizero is now in 15th position after successfully overtaking the gentleman. Duff Dad and Amy have advanced to 17th place, getting past Amundsen to tie. Meanwhile, Rafael has climbed to 19th, overtaking Kamikaze 38. The positions are starting to shift as the race continues. Hugud 3 has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Bikernieki and Sararanbot by 2.2 seconds. Currently, Hugud 3 is in hot pursuit, showcasing impressive speed and strategy as they navigate the track. The tension builds as they approach the next corner, potentially setting up for an overtake. Bikernieki and Sararanbot are now just 2.3 seconds behind Waintra 94 and Feds. The two AI-driven cars are displaying impressive speed and strategy as they close the gap. This could lead to a potential overtake if they maintain this pace. Meanwhile, Waintra 94 and Feds will need to defend their positions as the competition heats up. Lord of the Jungle has advanced to Pate after successfully overtaking Red Panama. The gentleman has also made progress, now sitting at 17 after getting past Amansan. Meanwhile, a close battle is unfolding for P19 between Rafael from Team Blast in a Holden Monaro 73 and Kamikaze 38 in a Ferrari 275 GTB-C. Bobardo is now in pin after successfully overtaking Rizaldi Adha from Team Quark Express. Rizaldi has responded by moving up to P11, executing an overtake on Paul Acostanin. Meanwhile, Paul Acostanin has gained position as well, moving up to P12 after passing Granjib.T. The positions are shifting rapidly as the race progresses. IC 1212 has made significant progress, now sitting in P19 after successfully overtaking 4 cars. Meanwhile, Hugud 3 and Boris have both advanced to P2, with Hud 3 executing a precise maneuver to pass Waintra 94 and Feds. Additionally, IC 1212 from Team Also No Name Racing continued their climb by overtaking Kamikaze 38. The race dynamics are shifting rapidly as positions continue to change. Camelot 15 is now just 47.5 seconds behind Wazirius Guy, significantly closing the gap. Okayogi 3 has successfully moved into Pfauer after overtaking Electric Mary, who now sits in 5. Meanwhile, Electric Mary has advanced to 5 by getting past Kadzishuk. The race dynamics are shifting rapidly with these overtakes. Lord of the Jungle has successfully moved up to position 8, executing a clean overtake on Red Panama. The maneuver looks smooth, showcasing excellent acceleration out of the last corner. Currently, Lord of the Jungle is maintaining a steady pace as he closes the gap to the cars ahead. Red Panama is now trailing in P9, likely strategizing for a counterattack. The midfield continues to be competitive, with several drivers vying for positions. Bikernieki has made a significant move, advancing to P12 by overtaking both Bikernieki and Shipbromandotti. This has pushed Bikernieki and Shipbroman back to P13, as they countered with an overtake on Rizaldi Adha, who is now in 14. Meanwhile, Arfael has gained ground, moving up to 17 after successfully overtaking Amundsen. The race continues to see strategic positioning and overtakes across the board. Currently, Hugro 3 is gaining on Koki Bikernieki and Sir Ironbot, reducing the gap by 2.2 seconds. Kazushuk is also making progress, cutting down a 4.2 second difference to Electric Mary. The race is tightening up in these sections as we see some significant moves being made. Electric Murray is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Okayoki 3 by 2.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Greninja is also gaining ground, cutting down the distance to Lord of the Jungle by 2.6 seconds. Both cars are showing strong pace as they close in on their competitors. Boris has taken the lead, now in pole after successfully overtaking Koki Bikernieki and Sir Ironbot. Meanwhile, Bikernieki and Shipbroman have advanced to P12 by passing Rizaldi Adha date dot. In a separate move, Rizaldi Adha has climbed to P13, overtaking Bikernieki. The race dynamics are shifting quickly as positions continue to change. Kamikaze 38 is gaining on Bikernieki, reducing the gap significantly. The distance has now shrunk to 5.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Car 7 has just executed a successful overtake on Car 12, moving up into 4th position. In the front, leader Car 1 maintains a steady pace, while second place Car 3 is trying to keep up, but there's currently a 3-second gap between them. The dynamics are shifting as we approach the mid-race marker. Duff Dad and Amy have successfully moved up to P20 after executing a clean overtake on Raphael. The maneuver was precise, showcasing their strategic positioning and timing. The pack remains competitive as they push further into the race. Red Panama has significantly reduced the gap to Kazashok, now down to 32.7 seconds. In the battle for power, Bikernieki 3 in the Alpine A100 and 10-1800s is closely pursuing Electric Murray, who's in a Holden Monaro 73. The competition is tightening up as the race progresses. Bobado is currently in P18 after successfully overtaking Paulo Costanine. In response, Paulo Costanine has gained a position, moving up to 14 by overtaking both Becca Gironi and Shit Bremen. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers jockey for positions. Kamikaze 38 has significantly reduced the gap to Baker Jerome and Ship Broman, now trailing by 30.3 seconds. The pace is picking up as Kamikaze 38 continues to push forward. Overtaking opportunities may arise shortly if this momentum keeps up. Baker Jerome and Ship Broman will need to defend their positions effectively to maintain their lead. Kamikaze 38 has significantly reduced the gap to Baker Gironin and Ship Broman by 2.2 seconds, indicating a strong push. Baker Gironi currently holds position ahead, while Ship Broman is maintaining pace right alongside. Overtaking opportunities may arise shortly, as Kamikaze 38 gains momentum. Until the race dynamics are shifting as Kamikaze 38 executes a strategic approach. Duff Dad has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Emerson from Team Nafgum Kings by 2.4 seconds. The distance between them is now 5.6 seconds as Duff Dad continues to push hard. Meanwhile, the rest of the field is maintaining their positions, with minimal changes in the top 5. The race pace is steady, and it will be interesting to see if Duff Dad can continue this momentum to secure an overtake soon. Bikernieki 3, from Team Racing Potatoes is currently in a fierce battle with Electromiri for power. Okayoki 3 is piloting an Alpine A110 1800s, while Electric Miri is behind the wheel of a Holden Monaro 73. The two cars are closely matched as they navigate through the corners. Meanwhile, Duff Dad and Amy are engaged in a race for P20 against Arafale from Team Glass. Duff Dad and Amy are driving a Ferrari 250 GTO, which is known for its speed and agility, while Arafale is also in a Holden Monaro 73. The competition is tight as they maneuver through the track, with each driver looking for an opportunity to gain the upper hand. The AI car Arayu Serial is gaining on both Suzanne Greenberg and Sian, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. Suzanne Greenberg and Sian are currently in a close battle for position, while Arayu Serial continues to apply pressure. The dynamics in the mid-pack are shifting as they jockey for advantage on the track. Welcome back, B43A. Automobile dashing away, we missed you zooming around here. Ready for some high-speed AI action? Let's rev it up. Party popper. Hugget 3 and Boris Boris have significantly reduced the gap to Koki Baninity and Sir Ironbot, now down to 26.2 seconds. Both Hugget 3 and Boris Boris are gaining momentum, potentially setting up for an overtaking maneuver soon. The race dynamics are shifting as they close in on the leaders. Wayne Tren NT4 and Feds have made significant progress, reducing the gap to Koki Binity and Sir Iron Bot by 31.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Amundsen is gaining on Duff Dad and Amy, closing the distance by 14.4 seconds. This creates a competitive dynamic as the race unfolds, with both pairs showing strong potential for overtaking. The tension is building as we watch these strategies play out on the track. Camilo 15 and Maya are closing in on 13 Shinigami and Nukembokan, reducing the gap by 33 seconds. Meanwhile, Kamikaze 38 has successfully moved up to 16, after overtaking Baker Joron and Ship Roman. The dynamics are shifting as these positions change rapidly. The gentleman has successfully moved up to P20, executing a clean overtake on the Arafale. The two drivers are engaged in a tight battle, with the gentleman in the Ferrari 250 GTO and the Arafale in the Holden Monaro 73. It appears that the gentleman is gaining an advantage as they navigate through the corners, showcasing the agility of the GTO against the Monaro's raw power. The fight for P20 continues as they approach the next section of the track. Currently, Okayoki 3 has successfully moved into P3, overtaking both Waintra 94 and Feds in a strategic maneuver. This places him in a strong position as the race continues to develop. Meanwhile, the top two positions remain unchanged. The battle for P3 is intensifying as the race progresses. Kazishuk is currently in the lead, but Red Panama is demonstrating impressive speed, reducing the gap by 2.1 seconds. The tension is building as Red Panama approaches turn 3. Meanwhile, we see Drift King 234 making a move on Speedster 99, successfully overtaking them on the inside line at turn 5 toy. This has shuffled the position slightly. The pack is tightening up behind them. As Lord of the Jungle continues to close the gap on Kazishuk, the difference is now down to 2 seconds. Meanwhile, in third place, Speedsterks is maintaining a steady pace, but is not making any significant gains. The battle for position between these top three is intensifying. In the mid-pack, Turbo Turtle is attempting an overtake on Flash Drive, narrowly missing as they navigate a tight corner. The dynamics are shifting as we move deeper into the race. Electrocamry has successfully moved up to power after overtaking Okayoki 3. Meanwhile, Kazishuk is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Red Panama by 3.3 seconds, indicating a potential challenge for that position soon. Kazishuk has significantly reduced the gap to Red Panama by 5.4 seconds, indicating a strong performance as they approach the halfway point of the race. Meanwhile, Arayu Surreal is also making moves, narrowing the distance to both Suzanne Greenberg and Seung by 14.9 seconds. The competition is tightening as Kazishuk continues to pursue Red Panama closely. Hugget 3 and Boris O'Boris in their Opel Cadet C are neck and neck with Koki Beninity and Sir Ironbot driving the Alfa Romeo TTI as they battle for the lead position. The competition is fierce between these two pairs. Meanwhile, Tenkomanen 704 has made a notable move, advancing to 10 after successfully overtaking Bikernieki. The two from also No Name Racing are now engaged in a tight contest for that 10th spot, with tensions rising as they jockey for position. The race dynamics are shifting as positions continue to change rapidly. Zero is now in P13 after successfully overtaking both Bikernieki and Shipperman. Meanwhile, Bikernieki and Shipperman have dropped to 14 following an overtake on Kamikaze 38, who has climbed up to 15 by passing Bobardo. The positions are shifting rapidly as the drivers jockey for better placements. ISI 1212 has gained a position, and is now in P20 after executing a clean overtake on Amansandi 20. The battle for the midfield positions is heating up as they fight for every inch on the track. Lord of the Jungle from No Name Racing is now just 3.8 seconds behind Red Panama, steadily closing that gap. The AI-driven strategies are evident as Lord of the Jungle adjusts speed and trajectory, looking for an optimal moment to attempt an overtake. Meanwhile, Red Panama maintains a consistent pace, but will need to defend against the approaching challenger. The tension builds as they approach the next turn. Bikernieki and Sir Ironbot have taken the lead, moving to pole after successfully overtaking Huggard 3 and Boris Olboris. This shift in position indicates a strong strategy and speed from the leaders as they navigate through the track. The gap between them and the previous leaders is now widening. Meanwhile, Huggard 3 and Boris Olboris are trying to re-establish their pace to regain those positions.